So today I wanted to talk about an important topic that keeps coming up, and this question of how to raise empathetic and compassionate children. These days we're living in a society that more and more people are just thinking about themselves, me, mine, and mine, and it's not very nice. I think we have to change it to make it more collective approach. And how do we do that? So it starts with young children, because the 90% of the brain is getting wired during the early years, birth to 5. We have to take advantage of it during those years. So it's interesting about this empathy and compassion. These qualities are born in us. We're all born with them. And yet, not everybody seems to have it in their character. Why? Have you ever thought about that? Why does everybody not have these qualities of empathy and compassion? I think the reason is that it has to be role modeled. I think for children to be empathetic and compassionate, they have to see it. It's an emotion. They have to feel it. It has to be in their lives so they can have it part of their character. So what can we do? One of the very simple things that we can do that doesn't take a lot of time is how we speak to children. So if a child falls down, for example, we have a choice to make. We can either say, "You're okay," which implies that I know how you feel and you're okay. Just get up, you're fine. Or we can say, "Are you okay?" It's the same exact word, "You are okay," or "Are you okay?" And with the second one, "Are you okay?" we're showing concern, we're showing care. We want to know. We are truly present here and we are responsive. So that's a very simple tip that we can do it. It starts with an early age, goes all the way till they're older. The second tip is about listening. So I love using children's literature to teach concepts. This is my all-time favorite book, Have You Filled Your Bucket Today? The reason I love this book is because it explains the concept of emotional buckets. We all have an emotional bucket. It's an invisible bucket, but we all have it. And the way our emotional bucket gets filled is when somebody else does something nice for us. So we can't fill our own bucket. You have to have somebody else fill your bucket. And one of the biggest things to fill somebody else's bucket is to be fully present and listen. To be heard is really meeting an emotional need. We all want to be heard. And so I started this chart because I'm homeschooling my granddaughter right now, and I started this chart. You can do it in your classroom or in your family. Create a bucket for each member of your family, and then have this conversation with the children about filling a bucket and dipping into a bucket. So the way you dip into a bucket is when you make somebody feel bad. And you can't fill your own bucket by dipping into someone else's bucket. You have to fill their bucket, they have to fill your bucket. It's a nice thing of give and take. And so I created this, and we read the book, which started the conversation. And one of the things that she said was she liked it when we gave a family hug, when we had a group hug. That filled her bucket. The other thing she said was she liked when I listened to her ideas. So I asked her which routine, how to make the schedule happen, which activity did she want to do, in which order. It was a very simple ask, but it made her feel like I was listening to her voice. And one of the things that I put in there was the days that we were having a good day at school was when she was listening to me. So this listening goes a long way, and we can do it. It doesn't take a lot of time, 2 or 3 minutes, to be fully present, to be responsive and nurturing in our care. But every time you do that, that interaction creates a deposit in the child's bank. And by the way, this starts with infants. Even infants want to be seen and heard. So all the best as you raise empathetic, compassionate, sympathetic children. And if you like this tip, please go to my website, togetherwegrow.online, and like and subscribe this channel. I would appreciate the support, and hope to see you again. Thanks.